Today I was going to do the Pirates 60 card theme deck. It's supposed to be a standard deck, at least at the time I bought the box. I know it's um, rotates cards every few years now, so by the time you're watching this may or may not be 100% standard legal. These theme boxes do have a list of all the cards that are in it, so if you happen to see these in stores, you'll know if you um, want to get the deck or not. But if you are familiar with the cards, it would be a little bit harder if you found it online to see the deck list unless you looked it up or stumbled on this video. But even though it has the deck list on the original packaging, figured seeing the cards might be interesting. So we have Suburban Schooner. It's a 3/4 artifact vehicle for one in the island. Whenever subterranean schooner attacks target creature that crewed it this turn explores. The reminder text says, reveal the top card of your library. Put that card into your hand if it's a land, otherwise put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Then put that card back or put it into your graveyard. And it's crew 1, so you only need something with 1 power to turn this from just an artifact to an artifact creature. And there are 3 copies of this. Next is Inti Senescal of the Sun. It's a 2/2 legendary creature, a human knight for 1 and a mountain. Now, it is a legendary creature, so it could be the commander of a red deck, but this is a standard deck, so there's multiples of some cards, as we saw from the first card. It's not a singleton themed deck, and there's also not a commander, even though you could take this and scrap it to build a commander if you really wanted. You just have to add more cards and make it singleton, I guess. So yeah, Inti Senecal of the Sun. Whenever you attack, you may discard a card. When you do, put a 1/1 counter on target attacking creature. It gains trample until end of turn. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card until your next end step. I mean, I'm not huge on discarding cards and exiling cards that if you don't play, you might not be able to get back. Yes, if you're discarding cards to the graveyard, there is stuff to potentially get back. I have a feeling this deck doesn't care about getting stuff back from your graveyard, just cares about sending stuff there, in this case, giving your stuff buffs. There's 3 copies of this card. Next we have Gastel Thrill Roller. It's a 4/2 artifact vehicle for 2 and a mountain, has trample and haste. Whenever this vehicle enters, it becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. Crew 2. And then there's an ability that costs 2 in a mound. Discard a card. Return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Activate only as a sorcery. There's only one copy of this. Fearless Swashbuckler. It's a 3/3 creature, a fish pirate for 1 island in the mound. Has haste. Vehicles you control have haste. Whenever you attack, if a pirate and a vehicle attack this combat, draw 3 cards. Then discard 2 cards. I mean, yes, it's card advantage by drawing, but you're drawing 3 cards to discard 2. So, again, if you don't have anything to get stuff back from your graveyard, not big on the idea, even though it allows you to, draw something beyond just your normal draw step at the beginning of the turn. 3 copies of this. Captain Howler, Sea Scourge. It's a 5/4 legendary creature, a shark pirate for 2 island and a mountain. So could be, where it's a legendary, could be a blue-red commander. But again, this is a standard deck, so 60 cards, duplicates, no commander, given you could scrap this deck and build it into one. Has Ward 2, pay 2 life. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn for each card discarded this way. Whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player this turn, you draw a card. So, I mean, it kind of encourages you discarding cards by making creatures, a certain targeted creature, bigger until end of turn for power, and card draw if you deal damage to a player. There's 2 copies of this. Magmatic Galleon. It's a 5/5 artifact vehicle for 3 and 2 mountains. When Magmatic Galleon enters the battlefield, it deals 5 damage to target creature an opponent controls. Whenever 1 or more creatures your opponent controls are dealt excess non-combat damage, create a treasure token. Crew 2. So, I mean, not only is it a, body on the field, even though you have to crew to make it a creature, it also acts as a burn spell by dealing 5 damage to an opponent's creature when it enters. And there's 2 copies of this. Spell Snare. It's an instant for an island. Counter target spell with mana value 2. There's 2 copies of this. I mean, I could go either way where, it sets restrictions on what you're countering, but also only cost 1, so maybe you could find a better counter spell for 1, but, it's where it's a standard deck, I guess it's what they put in. Spyglass Siren. It's a 1/1 creature, a Siren Pirate for island, has flying. When Spyglass Siren enters the battlefield, create a map token. The reminder text says it's an artifact with pay 1, tap, sacrifice this artifact. Target creature you control explores. Activate only as a sorcery. And there's 4 copies of this. I mean, no drawback like some of the cards, but it's also like a low power toughness because it's cheap mana cost. Marauding Mako. It's a 1/1 creature, a shark pirate for a mound. When you discard one or more cards, put that many 1/1 counters on this creature. It also has cycling 2. The reminder text is pay 2 mana, discard this card, draw a card. There are 4 copies of this. Scrounging Skyray. The 1/2 creature, a fish pirate for 1 and an island. Has flying. When you discard one or more cards, put that many 1/1 counters on this creature. Has cycling 2. The reminder text, pay 2 mana, discard this card to draw a card. And like the other last card or creature, this one has 4 copies. Staunch Crewmate. It's a 2/1 creature, human pirate for 1 and an island. When Staunch Crewmate enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact or pirate card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And there are 2 copies of this. I mean, other than the artifact vehicles, I haven't really seen any artifacts. But, you know, where the artifact vehicles are technically artifacts, you could put one of those in your hand if it was in the top 4, like, or whatever it was. Broadside Barrage. It's an instant for 1 island and a mountain. Broadside Barrage deals 5 damage to target creature or planewalker. Draw a card, then discard a card. And, I mean, it's cannons, but it looks like they're shooting some kind of energy as opposed to cannonballs. 2 copies of this. Burst Lightning. It's an instant for a mound. Has a kicker 4. You may pay an additional 4 as you cast a spell. Burst Lightning deals 2 damage to any target. If the spell was kicked, it deals 4 damage instead. I mean, the kicker of 4 seems like a lot to do an extra 2 damage. You know, the Broadside Barrage is a, 3 mana that does 5 damage as opposed to 5 mana for 4 damage. There are 4 copies of this. Secluded Courtyard. As this land enters, choose a creature type. Tap to add a colorless, or tap to add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a creature of the chosen type, or activate an ability of a creature source of the chosen type. There are 4 copies of this. Swiftwater Cliffs. This land enters tapped. When this land enters, you gain a life. You can tap to add an island or a mountain. And there are 4 copies of this. I mean, I kind of like it that in addition to tapping for whichever of the 2 colors you need, you know, it being a dual land, you also gain a life off that enter the battlefield. Then we're to the basic lands. There are 8 islands. I mean, unfortunately, they're all the same artwork. Some decks come with 2 or 3 different um, art styles for the basic lands. And then we have 8 mounds, but again, it's only one artwork for the 8 mounds. And then we have the tokens. So we have map token with treasure on the back. And then it looks like for whatever reason they did 3 that way and 2 the other way, but again, you flip it. So I don't know why they didn't just have all of them going in the same direction, but that's just how they were in the box, And they have on your turn with popular forms of magic on the back for people that this might be their introduction to magic. It lets you kind of know what the formats are and what to do on your turn. If that's the case, there's also rule books online and or tutorials, but hopefully you found some value in this Pirates standard themed deck. Thanks and have a good day.